On the day of the anniversary with David, his childhood sweetheart had a car accident. He left me behind and rushed back overnight, leaving me alone in the villa on the vacation mountain. A sudden rainstorm hit, and the power in the villa went out. I was trapped and couldn't get off the mountain. Knowing that Michael was on a business trip nearby, I tried to call him. On that stormy night, Michael drove to rescue me when I was having a high fever. I was delirious and lying in Michael's arms. He dialed David's phone. In a hoarse voice, he planted a cold kiss on my burning forehead. "Don't you want your girlfriend anymore? If you don't want her, then I'll take her." When I was watching the sunset on the top of the vacation mountain, the weather suddenly changed and it started to rain. The rain got heavier. I called David and asked him to pick me up. David said he didn't feel well and didn't accompany me to the mountain top to watch the sunset. He stayed in the villa to rest by himself. This vacation mountain is the property of the Johnson family. Today, Emily and David came here to celebrate their third-year anniversary, which Emily had been looking forward to for a long time. The phone was connected, and David's cold voice came through. "What's up? Come pick me up on the mountaintop. It's raining. Get down the mountain by yourself. I'm in a hurry and I have to go now." I asked worriedly. "What happened?" David on the phone sounded a bit impatient. "Sophia had a car accident. I'm worried about her being alone. I'm going over to check on her." Hearing the name Sophia from David's mouth, my heart sank instantly. Sophia. Sophia. It's always Sophia recently. I've always heard this name from David lately. Sophia is David's childhood sweetheart. They grew up together. She went abroad to study in high school and just returned to the country a few days ago, when Sophia was sick and alone at home. David went to take care of her. When the lights in Sophia's house were broken and she was afraid of the dark, David went to fix them. When Sophia was framed in a car accident while driving, David rushed over in a hurry and only left me with a hasty "Sophia just returned to the country. It's not easy for her to live alone. After all, we've been old friends for so many years. It's only right for me to help." David has spent all his time on Sophia, and I, his official girlfriend, seem more like a third party interfering in their relationship. "David, so you're leaving me alone on the mountain and going by yourself on our anniversary?" I questioned him on the phone. "Emily, be sensible. Sophia is in a life and death situation after the car accident. What are you being so fussy about? I'll make up for the anniversary next time." David's tone on the phone was harsh. He roared at me angrily. Do I really care about the anniversary? He made an excuse not to watch the sunset with me. He forgot about me when he let me go down the mountain alone. He didn't care about the anniversary at all. His tone when explaining was impatient. He called me fussy when I asked one more question. Suddenly, there was a harsh beep sound on the phone, and David hung up. I stood there all alone, and a wave of disappointment hit me, making it hard for me to breathe. It takes about 20 minutes to walk from the mountain top to the villa halfway down the mountain. Now the rain was getting heavier. If I didn't go down the mountain immediately, I would be trapped on the top. There were no people on this vacation mountain, and vehicles couldn't enter at will. Since I liked quietness, I didn't let the driver and the maid follow me. As long as I could reach the villa, it would be okay. I could stay there for one night and ask the driver to pick me up the next day. I ran down the mountain in one go. The rain was getting heavier and heavier, and my clothes were already soaked. When I got to the villa, I found that I couldn't turn on the lights. Maybe because the villa hadn't been lived in for a long time and there was a sudden rainstorm. It had a power outage unexpectedly. It was getting darker and the rain was pouring more urgently. A sudden thunderclap flashed overhead. I was really scared and my heart started pounding. There was only 10% of the phone's battery left. No. I must get off the mountain tonight. I'm not stupid enough to stay alone in this villa with no power and no water and suffer by myself. In a moment of anxiety, I suddenly remembered that I seemed to have heard David casually say that his uncle, Michael, was on a business trip near the vacation mountain. Originally, David was going to spare some time to have a meal with his uncle, but now he had already left in a hurry. Maybe I could ask Michael to pick me up. I've only met my uncle, Michael Johnson, a few times at family dinners and exchanged phone numbers with him. We're not very close, but in this situation, I really have no other choice. I take out my phone and find my uncle's number, but I can't help worrying. What if he's on a business trip and busy? Why would he come to pick me up? Nervous as I am, I still dial his number out of helplessness. The call is answered quickly, and Michael's deep and magnetic voice comes through. Emily, what's wrong? I speak timidly. Uncle, I'm stuck on the vacation mountain in Nanyuan. I heard from David that you're on a business trip nearby. Can I trouble you to come and pick me up? Where's David? He asks. He had something to do and went back first. There's a 2-second silence on the other end of the phone. Then my uncle says, wait for me. I'll be there in half an hour. It takes about 40 minutes to drive from the foot of the mountain to the villa halfway up the mountain. Michael arrives in less than half an hour. The Land Rover stops in the rainy night. The headlights spread a dim yellow light in the rain, outlining the oblique rain lines. Michael gets out of the car and opens a big black umbrella. In the curtain of rain, Michael strides towards me. He slightly raises the umbrella, revealing half of his sharp, steady and handsome face. I'm momentarily stunned, and my vision gradually blurs. Emily. Hearing his soft call, I finally come to my senses. Uncle. Michael holds the umbrella over my head. Big raindrops hit the umbrella surface, making a crisp sound. Let's go. It's raining harder. I follow Michael. The umbrella tilts slightly towards me. The faint orange-scented perfume on him wafts into my nose. It's fresh and pleasant. I get in the passenger seat. Michael hands me a clean towel, not even glancing at me. Dry yourself off. Don't catch a cold. My hair got wet when I ran back to the villa, and my clothes are also a bit damp and I didn't have time to change. The light-colored clothes are soaked through in some parts. My ears suddenly turn red. On the way down the mountain, Michael drives very steadily. We don't talk much along the way. After all, we're not very close. Michael is David's uncle. Although he's only 28 years old, he's already taken over part of the Johnson family's business on his own. He's calm, experienced, gentle and gentlemanly, and has a certain say in the Johnson family. It's just that he hasn't had a girlfriend for all these years, and the elders are very anxious. Outside the car window, the rain shows no sign of weakening. My phone suddenly vibrates twice. It's a WeChat message. It's 2 videos sent by a female mutual friend of David and me. They should both be shot in a KTV private room. The picture is quite dim, and the background noise is noisy. In the first video, Sophia is sticking to David's side, covering her mouth and laughing. I didn't expect him to really come. He was out of town today. Someone among them shouts. Sophia lost the truth or dare game and called David. He came right away, afraid that something might happen to her. He's really loyal. Sophia falls on David's shoulder shyly. David hooks his lips, seemingly enjoying it. In the second video, it should be that David lost the truth or dare game. The punishment is to kiss a woman present for a minute. Everyone present is cheering and shouting Sophia's name. Sophia is still shyly lowering her head. David takes her hand, tilts up her chin and kisses her without hesitation. The video ends here. I feel disgusted watching it. I open the chat window with David and only send one message. David, let's break up. After I send this message, my phone runs out of battery and turns off immediately. Even the phone battery is reminding me that my relationship with David is finally over. 4 years ago, I met David at a party. David was a playboy, loved to have fun and was very promiscuous. I didn't like this kind of amorous young master. Later, David suddenly started chasing me, saying that he liked me and would change for me. He patiently chased me for a whole year. He was amorous and romantic and could be very charming, even though I often treated him coldly. But I didn't expect that he really changed for me. He stopped being a playboy and stopped hanging out his friends at bars. I've never been in a relationship before. I was finally touched by his persistence and change and agreed to be with him. Now it seems that I was too naive, thinking that I could really make the playboy settle down. The love back then might have been real. But now the sincerity has changed. And that's also real. David Miller. That guy. Has he made you angry again? How does he act as a boyfriend? Next time, I'll teach him a lesson for you. The sound from the video just now wasn't loud. So Michael Johnson must have heard it too. He saw that I didn't look well and asked me. I smiled lightly and relievedly. No need. I've broken up with him. Huh? He was shocked. Just now. Michael tapped the brakes. And the car suddenly slowed down. Because of inertia. I instinctively leaned forward and was jerked by the seatbelt. I turned to look at Michael and joked. Michael, you wouldn't dump me on the roadside just because I broke up with David, would you? Michael smiled sheepishly and quickly apologized. Sorry. There was a stray dog on the road just now. So I tapped the brakes. How could I dump you on the roadside? Don't you trust Michael's character? I was amused and started to feel dizzy. My whole body a bit feverish. I leaned back in the seat and fell into a deep sleep. In my daze. I didn't know if it was a dream or reality. I seemed to hear Michael calling someone. Don't you want your girlfriend anymore? A man's light panting voice came from the other end of the phone. Didn't she say she broke up? Michael was sitting right next to me, touched my forehead with his hand. Then lowered his head and placed a cool kiss on my feverish forehead. He lowered his voice and said deeply, if you don't want her, then I'll take her. When I woke up, I found myself sleeping in an unfamiliar hotel bed. The time had already reached the next morning. My wet clothes had been changed, and now I was wearing an oversized white shirt and ill-fitting shorts. At that moment, the door opened, and my heart skipped a beat. It was Michael who walked in, and my heart settled again. Michael. Michael put down the bag in his hand and said softly, feeling better. Last night you had a high fever, and the nearby hospitals were too far from the resort mountain. So I found a hotel at the foot and changed your wet clothes first. Hearing this, I was shocked and stared blankly at him. Michael quickly explained with a smile. Don't misunderstand. I had the girl at the front desk help you change. I travel frequently for work, so I always carry some spare clothes with me. The clothes you're wearing are new. I washed them but haven't worn them. After sleeping, feeling better. I was a bit embarrassed and nodded awkwardly. Thank you, Michael. I'm much better now. No need to be so polite. He handed me the bag. I just went out and bought you a dress. I don't know if the size fits, but try it on first. Later, I'll take you back to South City. After saying this, Michael left the room. The dress Michael bought was a white one, simple and elegant. And it fit quite well. My phone had been thoughtfully charged by Michael. I opened the chat box with David. And the last message was the breakup message I sent last night. He hadn't replied. He didn't even want to pretend to care now. I clicked into Facebook and saw that Sophia Clark had posted something last night. A photo of her lying in a hospital bed with a bandage on her ankle. And David was asleep by the bed. David's hand was tightly holding Sophia's hand. The caption was, "Lucky to have you." I sneered and called David. The first time didn't go through. The second time he answered after a long wait. David, we're breaking up. He seemed just woken up. His tone drowsy. What? I said. We're breaking up. If your ears are bad, go see a doctor. David's tone was hard and cold, with a hint of questioning and displeasure. Emily Davis. Is it because of yesterday's thing? I pursed my lips, suppressing my dissatisfaction, my chest silently heaving. Trying hard to control my slightly trembling voice, then calmly said, yes, it's because of that. A cold laugh came from the other end of the phone, and David Miller's dismissive, Scornful voice rang out. Emily Davis. You're so dramatic. As soon as he finished speaking, he hung up abruptly. Ever since Sophia Clark returned to the country, David had changed completely. He forgot birthdays, gave thoughtless gifts as afterthoughts, and stopped showing any care. His tone turned icy and impatient. He skipped anniversaries to be with other women. And by doing this, he made it clear our relationship had no future. I was born with a silver spoon, a rich heiress raised with utmost care by my parents. Why should I endure such grievances? I'm in my senior year, studying fashion design, and about to graduate. So I've been swamped with my graduation project lately. While I was busy at school, David was publicly showing affection with his childhood friend Sophia Clark. I have Sophia on social media, and every day I see her flaunting the luxury goods David bought for her on her feed. That afternoon, while I was working at school, I received a call from Michael Johnson. Since the day he drove me back to South City, we hadn't been in touch. Emily, are you free tonight? He asked gently and politely. I thought for a moment and replied, I don't have much on tonight though. You need my help with something. There's an evening gala tonight, and I need a date. Could you spare the evening to accompany me? I agreed happily. Of course. I haven't even thanked you properly for last time. I felt terribly embarrassed about how much I troubled Michael that day. From picking me up to taking care of me, ID offered to treat him to a meal, but he refused, saying it wasn't necessary to be so formal. While waiting for Michael at the school gate, I coincidentally ran into David and Sophia Clark. They walked out hand in hand, looking extremely intimate. David and I attend the same school, but we hadn't seen each other since that breakup talk. Today was just a fluke. Right then, Michael's car pulled up in front of me, and he stepped out from the back seat. His tall, elegant frame accentuated by his crisp suit. Emily, I'll be troubling you tonight, he said, gallantly opening the car door for me to get in. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from behind. Uncle, what are you doing at school? Michael and I turned simultaneously to see David behind us, his expression curious and puzzled as he looked at Michael and me. Why are you two together? Michael gestured for me to get in the car first, then positioned himself in front of the door. He lowered his gaze, staring at David, and his tone shifted abruptly to cold, stern, and imposing. Why are you meddling in an elder's business? With that, he ignored David, got into the car, and told the driver to leave. The atmosphere inside the car grew awkward and tense. Michael handed me an exquisite bag. There's a gown inside. I prepared it for you. You can change into it directly later. I took it and said, okay, thanks. Uncle. Michael's lips curved into a slight smile. Since your arranged marriage with David is called off, you don't need to call me uncle anymore. Just call me Michael. I nodded sheepishly, my cheeks inexplicably warming up. The name Michael felt a bit too intimate for me. At the gala, I linked arms with Michael as we socialized together. A mature man always has a unique, captivating charm. Michael introduced me to many connections, including several industry leaders in fashion design. Curious, I whispered to Michael, why are you introducing me to so many people? He leaned in, his warm breath tickling my ear, making it tingle. Aren't you studying fashion design? Those are all renowned experts in the field. Getting to know them will benefit you. I looked up and met his gaze. His eyes were deep and bright, fixed intently on me. The intensity of his stare made my heart race suddenly, so I quickly looked away to calm down. How did he know I studied fashion design? After the gala ended, Michael asked if I was hungry. Of course I was. These events aren't for eating. And after a night of socializing, ID had nothing but wine. Michael Johnson took off his suit jacket and leaned back on the back seat of the car. He casually undid the top 2 buttons of his shirt, revealing his faintly visible collarbone. Emily, what would you like to eat? I'll treat you, I quickly said. Uncle Michael, let me treat you to dinner. I still haven't thanked you for what happened last time. A nice smile appeared on Michael's lips, and his eyes were as gentle as water. Didn't you already help me today? Now it's my turn to thank you. I'll treat you to dinner. In the restaurant. Emily and Michael were sitting face to face. He suddenly asked her, "Don't you plan to study abroad? For your major? Studying abroad for 2 years will accumulate more experience," Emily explained. "I originally wanted to study abroad. But I was dating David at that time. I didn't want to have a long-distance relationship. So I temporarily gave up this idea. Who would have thought we'd break up now? It's too late to apply to study abroad this year. I haven't even prepared my portfolio. I'll do it next year." Emily smiled helplessly. She shouldn't have been so love-struck back then and should have put herself first. Michael served Emily a bowl of soup and comforted her. "It doesn't matter. Good things are worth waiting for." Suddenly, his phone rang. He motioned to Emily that he needed to go out to answer it. When Emily was free, she picked up her phone and started scrolling through her Facebook. The latest post was from Sophia. There was a photo of David wearing an apron and busy in the kitchen, and a photo of a bowl of porridge on the table. The caption read, "I'm sick. Thanks to the young master for making porridge for me. It used to be a luxury to even ask David to buy me porridge." Indeed, the difference between love and no love is really obvious. Emily should have broken up with David earlier. She couldn't help scolding herself for being stupid in her heart. The moment she turned off her phone, the screen lit up again. It was David calling. At first, she didn't want to answer, but out of curiosity about what he wanted, she picked up the call. "What's up?" On the phone, David's tone was a bit confused and accusatory. "Why did Uncle Michael take you to the dinner party?" Emily was amused by his question. "David, by what right are you questioning me?" There was a silence on the other end of the phone. Then he said, "Since we've broken up and you've annulled the engagement with our Johnson family, you shouldn't have any more contact with the Johnson family members." "David, I just annulled the engagement. I didn't offend your family. Who I associate with has nothing to do with you." Emily was really speechless at what David said. Before the call was hung up, someone suddenly took the phone from her ear. She looked back and saw that it was Michael. His voice was deep and his tone was imposing. "David, you're disturbing her dinner." After saying that, Michael hung up the phone for her. David sometimes speaks out of line. Don't mind him. Michael didn't have a good relationship with David. He always disliked David's irresponsible attitude. "By the way, Emily, could you design and customize a suit for me?" Michael suddenly changed the topic and asked with a smile in the corner of his eyes. Of course. Emily was more than willing. She nodded quickly and replied with a smile. "No problem. Consider it my way of repaying you for helping me last time. How about I measure your size right away? I brought a tape measure with me today. A custom-made suit must be measured on the body to fit perfectly. Since the time was right today, once she measured the size, she could start designing immediately. Then let's go to my place. It'll be more convenient for you to measure," Michael suggested. After dinner, Emily followed Michael to his house. He rarely lived in the Johnson family's big villa and had his own place outside. The interior decoration of the house was simple and elegant, mainly in white, and it was very clean. Emily took out the tape measure from her bag. "Uncle Michael, let's start measuring. It's getting late. I'm afraid I'll disturb your rest." Michael started to undo the buttons of his shirt and asked seriously, "Do I need to take off my clothes?" Emily was so startled that she waved her hands repeatedly and almost stuttered. No. Uncle Michael, you don't need to take off your clothes." Emily stood in front of Michael. He was a whole head taller than her. The tape measure was tightly against Michael's body. She stared intently at the measurements and didn't notice the way Michael was looking at her. She started measuring from his neck circumference and then moved down to his shoulder width, chest circumference, waist circumference, abdominal circumference, hip circumference, thigh circumference, calf circumference, and ankle circumference. Michael cooperated with her very well and stood upright. The close contact allowed Emily to clearly smell the perfume on him. Today, he was wearing a woody scented perfume, a blend of sandalwood and amber that brought a warm and mysterious feeling. As if she was being embraced by a gentle hug. The entire measurement process was very quiet. The only sound was my soft murmur as I recorded the measurements. Suddenly, I didn't notice the carpet under my feet. I lost my balance and accidentally slipped, just as I was about to fall. Michael Johnson bent down and put his arm around my waist. He steadied me and pulled me back up. His warm and large palm covered my waist, and his other hand tightly grasped my wrist. Michael's handsome and alluring face was just inches away. There was a hint of ambiguous desire in his eyes. I felt my cheeks burning hot. I panicked and my whole body went stiff. His voice came from beside my ear in a soft whisper. "Be careful. Don't fall." His warm breath lingered beside my ear, making it tingle a little. His gaze was too intense, so I quickly averted my eyes from his. Suddenly, I felt parched. I subconsciously swallowed my saliva. Michael helped me stand still and asked, "Are you okay?" Nothing," I stammered, avoiding eye contact with him. "Uncle, I've almost finished all the measurements. I'll leave now. I won't disturb your rest." I turned around and wanted to leave. But Michael suddenly grabbed me and pulled me in front of him. He looked down at me with a gentle glimmer in his deep eyes. As his eyes flickered, there were countless tender feelings, as if he was trying to draw me into the depths of his eyes. "Didn't I tell you? Don't call me uncle anymore. Call me Michael, or Michael Johnson." He held my wrist tightly. I tried to pull it away but couldn't move at all. I looked up at him, and my heart was pounding so hard it seemed to jump out of my throat. Then I tentatively said, "Me, Michael Johnson." The hand holding my wrist suddenly loosened, and a smile spread across the corner of his eyes. "Such a good girl. Call me like this from now on." I nodded obediently, and my breathing was still heavy. Michael personally drove me back to school. When we arrived at the school gate, he invited me. "Let's go play golf in a few days." I hesitated a little. "I might be busy with my graduation project at school." "You have to come out to relax and get some inspiration." Michael was right. I nodded and agreed. Only after watching Michael's car drive away did I turn around and enter the old gate. When I was almost at the dormitory building, I felt someone following me. I looked back and saw David Miller. When he saw me stop, he also stopped and stood there. "Why are you following me?" I frowned and looked at him in confusion. He stepped forward and asked me in a somewhat accusing tone, "Why are you getting so close to my uncle?" I thought it was funny. "Who I get close to has nothing to do with you. Right, David? We've broken up. You're overstepping the line now." David looked at me with a scrutinizing look, and suddenly he laughed, unable to hide his smugness. "Emily Davis, you're not trying to make me jealous by deliberately getting close to my uncle, are you?" His sudden self-confidence made me laugh out loud. "David, you're so full of yourself. Who gave you that confidence? You can be with whoever you want. Just stop bothering me." The Clark family has fallen into decline. Sophia Clark's family background can't match David's anymore. He doesn't even dare to tell his parents that he's dating Sophia. He's so secretive about their relationship, just showing off their love while hiding from his family. It's really meaningless. They say late-coming affection is cheaper than grass. But David can't even spare a bit of affection for me. He came to me today just out of curiosity about why I'm getting close to his uncle. The day to play golf with Michael finally arrived. We had set a time, and he came to pick me up at the school gate. Michael was dressed very casually today, wearing a white polo shirt and black sports trousers. This simple outfit already showed off his good figure. When we got to the golf course, neither Michael nor I expected to run into David and Sophia. They should have come to play with their friends. I went to the dressing room to change clothes. When I came out, Michael had already made 2 holes in one. I'm not very good at golf, Michael Johnson handed me the club and said, "Come on. I'll teach you." Michael wrapped his arms around me, and that pleasant woody oceanic scent of his filled my nostrils. His hands held mine. This teaching gesture was somewhat intimate. Too close. I felt a bit embarrassed. My cheeks burning. Michael probably sensed my nervousness and softly reassured me. "Don't be nervous. I'll teach you. Take it slow." I focused on the club and the ball, but out of the corner of my eye, I caught an intense gaze directed at Michael and me from the corner. Sophia Clark's voice complained, "David Miller, pay attention when you teach. Where are you looking?" Michael guided me through 2 swings. "Try it yourself now." Those last 2 swings were very good. I nodded and prepared to try on my own. Beautiful. A hole-in-one. Oh my God. Did I really make it? I asked Michael in excitement and disbelief. Not even processing it myself. Michael gave me a thumbs up with a pleased smile and nodded. "Well done." David and Sophia, not far from us, looked over. Sophia pursed her lips, her face full of displeasure. After it ended, Michael walked over to David, saying something I couldn't hear. When he came back, he told me, "Let's have dinner together later." I invited David too. I wasn't keen on going. Wouldn't it be a bit awkward? Michael took the things from my hands and reassured me. "With me here, there's no need to fear awkwardness. Besides, shouldn't David be the one feeling awkward?" The 4 of us arrived at the restaurant. Michael pulled out a chair for me. Sophia looked at David, signaling him to do the same. But David pretended not to see and sat down immediately. "David, have you told the Johnson family about you and Sophia dating?" Michael asked. David was clearly caught off guard by his Uncle Michael's question. After a moment's hesitation, he shook his head. "Not yet." Sophia, hearing this, got upset, threw down her chopsticks. "What? David, what do you mean? Am I not presentable?" David didn't want to respond to Sophia's accusation and said impatiently, "Oh, stop making a scene. Or don't eat at all." Michael packed up and asked me, "Emily, are you full?" I nodded, smiling secretly. "I'm full." Michael took me and left first, leaving David and Sophia arguing there. I think I understood the purpose of his dinner arrangement today. Since that golf day, Michael and I have grown closer. During this time, he's been helping me prepare for studying abroad. Even using his connections, I haven't had a chance to ask him why he's helping me so much. The custom-made clothes for Michael were ready. I checked and found no issues, so I personally delivered them to Michael's company. When I arrived, Michael was in a meeting in the conference room. His secretary asked me to wait a bit. Soon, Michael came out of the meeting room, and upon seeing me, his face lit up with a smile. "What brings you here?" I handed him the bag. "The clothes are ready. Try them on to see if they fit. Come to my office." Michael's office was spacious, with a small bedroom inside. He took the clothes and went into the bedroom to change. When he came out, I was amazed. It looked fantastic, perfectly fitting his figure, showcasing his good physique to the fullest. "It looks great. Really great." Michael looked at me and smiled. "Of course. And who designed it?" He really knows how to talk, complimenting himself in the process. "Are you free later?" he asked me. "I am." Michael Johnson straightened his tie, seeing he was struggling. I stepped forward to help him adjust it. "There's an auction tonight, come with me. You can wear that custom-made suit you designed for me. I'll introduce you to some friends too. All big shots in the fashion industry. It'll be helpful for you." That last part made it impossible to refuse. At the auction venue, a pink gemstone necklace came on stage. I couldn't help but gasp. Wow! The light hit the pink gemstone, making it incredibly dazzling and unique. "Do you like it?" Michael leaned close to my ear, whispering. I quickly shook my head. "No. I just think it's quite beautiful. The starting bid is $800,000. With minimum increments of $100,000. Michael raised his paddle. 1 million. I stared at him in shock. Michael lowered his head to my ear. If you like it, well, get it. Don't. 1.5 million. 1.5 million. Anyone else? Michael raised his hand slightly. 1.8 million. Okay. Michael has bid 1.8 million. Anyone higher than 1.8 million? 2 million. Someone in the room offered 2 million. I grabbed Michael's arm, urging him not to bid. But it was useless, completely useless. Michael signaled with his hand and spoke calmly. 2.2 million. Michael's 2.2 million. Anyone else? No one countered. Michael's bid of 2.2 million was far above the actual value of that pink gemstone necklace. 2.2 million. 2.2 million. Still no one bid. The auctioneer banged the gavel. 2.2 million. Sold. Congratulations, Michael, on adding such a stunning necklace to your collection. I thought Michael had gone crazy to spend 2.2 million on a necklace. It's for you. The necklace was brought to Michael. He opened the box and handed it to me. I waved my hands frantically. Michael, I can't accept this, it's too valuable. It's not. I really didn't dare take it and made an excuse. I already have plenty of necklaces. Michael took the necklace out and fastened it around my neck. One more won't hurt. You deserve such an extravagant gift. I looked down, seeing the incredibly dazzling pink gemstone necklace sparkling against my neck. My heart pounded wildly. Consider it a thank you gift for the custom-made suit you made me when you become a renowned fashion designer someday. This suit you crafted with your own hands will be worth a fortune. Michael lowered his head to meet my gaze, his eyes gentle and clear as spring water. He was so persuasive that I couldn't find any excuse to refuse. After the auction ended, Michael invited his close friends to gather again. Michael, you look so sharp in that outfit today. Where did you get that suit made? It's absolutely gorgeous. Someone asked Michael where his suit was tailored. Wanting one for themselves, Michael pulled me in front of him and introduced me proudly to everyone. Let me introduce everyone to Emily Davis. The outfit I'm wearing today was handmade by Emily herself. Isn't it better than many custom-made shops? He praised me openly in front of everyone. Could you please make one for me too? Emily, I'll pay for it. Someone proactively asked for my contact information. I was flattered. The social event ended, and Michael Johnson drove me home. Today, I met many big shots and seniors in the fashion industry, and thanks to Michael, I learned a lot. Michael, thank you so much. I don't even know how to thank you. Michael smirked, turned to look at me, and said, then, please make me a custom-made suit. Emily, it would be my honor. The car had a faint woody scent from the diffuser, mixed with the oceanic scent from Michael. The two aromas blended well and smelled pleasant. Emily, would you like to be with me? I was already drowsy in the passenger seat when Michael suddenly spoke, jolting me awake. Huh? What do you mean? Michael rephrased his earlier words. I mean, would you like to date me? Date? Oh my God. Was Michael confessing? Michael, this isn't appropriate, is it? My eyes darted away nervously, my heart pounding, and I started stammering incoherently. Michael pulled the car over to the roadside and looked at me seriously. Emily, I'm not joking. I hope you'll consider me. I really like you. I met Michael's sincere and intense gaze. Feeling his genuine sincerity, he took my hand and held it tightly. Will you be my girlfriend? I felt a pang in my chest, nodded, and said, yes. Then, I reached out and hugged Michael tightly. After that, a warm kiss landed on my forehead. Michael and I officially became a couple. Later, after class, he was coming to pick me up, saying he'd take me to eat something delicious. When I walked out of the teaching building, I saw Michael's car parked not far from the entrance. As I approached, I unexpectedly ran into David Miller. He quickly walked up, came close, and asked me, my uncle is here to pick you up after class again. What's your relationship? David's suspicious and scrutinizing gaze made me very uncomfortable. David. Emily and I are boyfriend and girlfriend now. Before I could speak, Michael, who was standing in the distance and must have heard David's question, spoke up to explain. Upon hearing this, David looked shocked, then shouted at Michael, "Michael, you're stealing my girlfriend." Michael's face darkened, and he spoke to David in a stern, cold tone. Let me correct two issues with that statement. First, when can a junior call a senior by their first name? Second, what do you mean by stealing my girlfriend? David immediately became submissive, stammering as he spoke. Uncle, Michael walked over to me and put his arm around me. David, girls are meant to be cherished and pampered, not betrayed and played with like you did. That one sentence made David not dare to lift his head. I couldn't help but feel secretly pleased. Michael Johnson is literally my mouthpiece. After David Miller found out that I was with his uncle, he came to see me one more time. He's 6 years older than you. Thanks for his concern. He's still worried about the age gap between me and his uncle. So what if he's 6 years older? I like men who are 6 years older than me. Older men are mature. They won't be as childish as you. I pointed at David and started scolding. Are you just with my uncle out of spite to disgust me on purpose? David was still persistent. I knew he might just have a hard time accepting that his ex-girlfriend had suddenly moved up a generation. David, you think too highly of yourself. Take care of yourself first. Seeing my current attitude, David didn't say anything more and left dejectedly. I found that Michael was completely different when he was in a relationship from his usual self. On the surface, he was decisive, serious, and never smiled. In fact, he was very clingy and even knew how to act cute. What are you doing? My little Emily, why aren't you replying to me, baby? As I walked out of the teaching building, I saw the message Michael sent 2 minutes ago. I was just discussing the matter of studying abroad with my teacher. Michael, let's have dinner together tonight. I'll come to pick you up at school later. During dinner that night, I was a bit absent-minded. Michael noticed something was wrong with my mood and asked me, "What's up? Do you have something on your mind? Tell me, if I can solve it for you." It's not a problem. After hesitating for a moment, I finally spoke up. Michael, I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Do you mind that I'm going to study abroad right after we got together? I had just started dating Michael, but the time for my overseas study was already set. About a month later, in a month, I would fly to the UK to start my study abroad life. After hearing my question, Michael looked at me affectionately and smiled. Only incompetent men are afraid of a woman's growth. Just go to the UK to study with peace of mind. I'll fly over to see you when I have time. You should be yourself first. And then my girlfriend. He cut a piece of steak and put it on my plate. Speaking sincerely, I support any decision you make, unconditionally. And I'll do my best to help you. I'll support you to move forward steadily. You just boldly do what you want to do. Who could resist what Michael said? My nose started to feel sour with emotion. Thank you, Michael. I love you, baby. When I first arrived in London, my days were very busy. It took me a long time to gradually get used to the climate and diet. Michael was also very busy with his work in China. But no matter how busy he was, he would always find time to call me. There was a time difference of nearly 7 hours between London and China. But this time difference didn't affect our communication at all. He would basically fly to London to see me once a month. Sometimes when he went on business trips abroad, he would try his best to choose London as a transit point just to see me. People who truly love you will try every means to see you. They never worry about the time difference or the long distance. It was 10 o'clock at night. I was drawing a draft in my apartment when I suddenly received a call from Michael. Hello. It should be 2 in the afternoon over there. Yesterday, he mentioned that he had a meeting today. What's my baby up to? A deep, magnetic voice came through the phone. I'm sketching some designs. There was a silence of 3 or 4 seconds on the other end. I glanced at my phone screen. It indicated the call was still connected, just as I was wondering what was going on. A few brief words came from the other end. Come downstairs. I want to see you.